Greetings, YouTube. I'm currently reading a post-apocalyptic module for entertainment here at home. And one of the treasures in the module was a pocket version of the New Testament. And it was described and it was told how much it would be worth at the nearest settlement that actually really dealt in coins. And it got me thinking about how common would books be in the era of the module. Now the game system is the Mutant Epoch, and the Great Fall, the Great Collapse, takes place I think sometime in the late 22nd or early 23rd century, because the game's got blasters and powered armor and things like that. Cybernetics are ubiquitous before the fall, and there are places that can still produce them. So I'm thinking, we'll say the year 2300. How common are books going to be? Alright? Now today, books are common. They're everywhere. I own thousands of them. You can see books all over the room behind me. But the Kindle and its ilk are becoming much more common. So I imagine by the year 2300, there would be a book-sized object, we'll say a Kindle, for example, and you'd be able to be read as a standard paperback size, and it would probably either fold out or maybe roll out to a larger size that you could look at full 8x12 maps and images and read magazines and things like that, because sometimes reading a large text at a small screen is annoying because you have to kind of move around. And by the year 2300, the memory capacity would be on the molecular level, and it would be so dense that you could have the sum total of human knowledge in the palm of your hand. I also imagine, being the year 2300, it would be completely solar powered. You just carry it around on the outside of your body or leave it in the sun for an hour or so, and it'd have all the power it needs to run for the next 24 hours. And there wouldn't be hundreds or thousands of these. There would be billions of them. Every human being would probably have one. Even only the most destitute or most archaic wouldn't. So along comes the collapse. Alright, the infrastructure of the world is destroyed. But each person is carrying around with them all the knowledge that humanity has ever accumulated. So how long would the post-apocalyptic setting actually last? If everyone's carrying all the information you need on them, it's not difficult to reboot society, to get the infrastructure up and running again. You'd be looking at something in the 5, 10, maybe 20-year time scale, and then it's right back to business as usual. Which got me thinking, okay, I like the new era of the Stone Age, Thunder the Barbarian kind of thing. So how do you achieve that? If knowledge and information is ubiquitous on that scale, how do you get it out of the scene so that you could then have a new Stone Age? Well, the best way I could think of to do it would be nanotechnology. It could have been an accident. It could have been a military program that was released too soon or in the wrong area or got out of control. It could have been eco-terrorists releasing it to destroy technology because they felt that man's opposition to nature was too powerful. It could have been done by aliens, sending cedar ships out through space, and every time they pick up a system that has radio signals, they send a ship through the system, seeding it with nanotechnology, and then they keep on going to the next system, taking out the competition before it can get out there into the greater galaxy and compete with them. So that would completely wipe out technology. It would be gone. So you'd have either whatever biotechnology was around, and it probably wouldn't be enough of it, or Stone Age, Paleolithic technology, and that would be it. And that's a great way of redoing society. You've got to really, right down to the roots, everything has to be redone. But there is no ancient stuff to discover. You find some stone buildings and maybe wooden structures that might survive for a few centuries, but all the technology is gone. So there is no finding blasters and power armor and, hollow decks and things like that. All the tropes of a great post-apocalyptic game are missing because the nanotechnology will have wiped them out. So that leaves me with a post-apocalyptic conundrum. On the one hand, I have information being so ubiquitous that a post-apocalyptic era would be 20 years long and you wouldn't have any Thunder the Barbarians. Or on the other hand, you have technology having completely been erased to the very foundation of humanity, and you have no yeehaws, no gadgets to find, no fun stuff to explore. So, where does that leave the actual post-apocalyptic genre? If you have the collapse now, it could be much more viable, but you get no nifty stuff. You have it in the future, data becomes ubiquitous. And if you wipe it out, all those gadgets are gone. Now, I realize that there are people out there probably thinking at the moment, well, why do you care about this? Why don't you just say, okay, this is how it works, and not worry about it? And you're correct. I've run games, and I didn't worry about it in the past. But at the moment, it's kind of sticking in my craw. It's kind of bugging me that there is a lack of internal consistency. So I'm asking people who are seeing this video, do you see this as a conundrum? Do you see this as an impassable dichotomy between ubiquitous data or absolute Stone Age technology? How do you find the middle spot for yourself? What do you do? I'd be intrigued to know. For nothing else, it'll start a conversation.